great. General Manager Mick Foley made this match official, a rematch from last week on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho. And you may notice that Chris Jericho's best friend, Kevin Owens, isn't at ringside.
Yeah, I gotta admit, that was a pretty impressive job by Rollins to kind of cause some tension between Jericho and Owens and make sure Owens would not be at ringside for this match.
They don't call him the architect for nothing, Byron.
Chris Jericho talked himself into this matchup tonight, telling Seth Rollins he can beat him any place, anytime. Reminding the world he's a 6-time world champion. Ooh. And yes, his history is correct. He did beat Steve Austin and The Rock on the same night.
Well, as impressive as that list of accolades was by Jericho, what's to say Rollins couldn't have achieved the same thing? It was a different time.
And Rollins still may achieve those great heights in his career as he's been down the corner and Seth Rollins plowing through Jericho.
People just stand Sparkle Crush.
Byron, let's not perpetuate that, okay?
Seth Rollins will be locked inside the Hell in a Cell structure in 2 weeks in Boston for the WWE Universal Championship against Kevin Owens. Drop kick by Rollins. And Chris Jericho takes a breather. It'll be the second time in Seth's career that he will enter Hell in a Cell. Won his first matchup a couple of years ago. Kevin Owens has never been inside Hell in a Cell.
And yet Kevin Owens is confident enough to come out here and say, I'm going to retire Seth Rollins after Hell in a Cell.
After saying that the general manager, Mick Foley, has a personal vendetta against him.
If you're talking about confidence, you have to throw Rollins in that conversation for just even accepting this match. Less than 2 weeks away from Hell in a Cell to accept a match with Chris Jericho, in my opinion, is kind of insane. I don't know why you wouldn't want to go into Hell in a Cell 100%.
You know Rollins a long time, Corey. Oh, watch out.
And Jericho, there's a backbreaker, knee right to the spine. Chris Jericho into the cover, hooks the leg, wraps the arm, and a kick out at 2.
And Rollins has said himself, every scar that I earn, every battle I got to go through is one step closer to making it back to the top.
And again, the impact to the back of Seth Rollins, and to Corey's point, so close to Hell in a Cell. You can get dinged up pretty bad. And Chris Jericho, who's been in Hell in a Cell before, you heard the way that he described his structure. Barbaric, dangerous, destructive. The match that ended Mick Foley's career. Now Rollins hung up on the second rope. What impact. And Chris Jericho is dominating.
Take another look at this backbreaker. Bang! Oh, the lower back of Seth Rollins just bending in half across the knee of Jericho. Completely devastating.
Jericho takes the fight for Rollins and rib first into the barricade. And Chris Jericho now bouncing Rollins face first.
No doubt Jericho's extra motivated here tonight after claiming that he could beat Seth Rollins anytime, anywhere, any place. Now he's got to back it up.
He blamed, quote, bad officiating on his loss last week. Jericho runs right into a boot by Seth, looking for the pedigree here. Jericho, but Jericho. Sunset flip for Rollins and a kick out at 2 by Chris. Seth Rollins now building momentum.
I can't imagine what it would do for the already confident Rollins to pick up another win against Chris Jericho here tonight.
Yeah, but what would it do if he lost?
Well, it could have the opposite effect.
And Rollins, into the cover. Can he put Jericho away? Near fall for Seth Rollins.
Rollins, we've just seen the last couple weeks just operating like a man who's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. And it all could happen in Hell in a Cell.
Well, he understands what it's like to be locked inside the structure. Jericho rolling up Seth Rollins, looking for the walls, trying to spin Seth onto his stomach here in the middle of the ring. Seth rolling him up much like last week. Almost had him.
Again, go for the pedigree.
And this time Jericho sends Rollins over the top rope to the floor. But Seth Rollins, here's Jericho. There's the drop kick.
There's the experience.
And Chris Jericho has Seth Rollins reeling live on Monday Night Raw. Back live on Monday Night Raw, and guys, it's been all Chris Jericho over Seth Rollins through the commercial break, but that could be the opening Seth needs.
Big opening for Seth Rollins, but the question is now, what can Seth do to recover? Because he's taken a lot of punishment in this matchup.
Corey Jericho favoring the hamstring as he came across the rope as Rollins moved out of the way.
Injury like that can slow you down just a half a step, which is all you need when you're Seth Rollins to take advantage.
Here's Jericho with a missile drop kick on the second rope, and just like that, Jericho back in control. Cover again, and another near fall for Jericho. No Kevin Owens at ringside. Chris Jericho told Owens he wants to do it alone after Seth Rollins did a pretty good job trying to drive a wedge between the friendship of those two men. Although there was a big hug as Owens left the ring.
Yeah, but you know, back at Jericho's mind, look, he would have loved to have turned that Hell in a Cell match into a triple threat and given himself an opportunity to become WWE Universal Champion.
Byron, you need to quit speculating. Seth Rollins can drive a wedge between Jericho and Owens. You cannot.
You think Jericho wouldn't want to be Universal Champion?
Sure he would, but it's his friend's championship right now. As long as one of them's champion, they're both satisfied.
Right.
It's all about the team, right?
Oh! That's something you should learn, Byron.
Rollins hanging on, and a running knee from Seth Rollins.
Once again, Rollins buys himself an opening.
Remember, the ring will be enclosed by the Hell in a Cell structure in 2 weeks for the Rollins-Owens match. 20 feet high, 5 tons. Oh, face first off the second turnbuckle goes Jericho. And now Seth Rollins starting to feel it. Sling blade, down goes Jericho. Cover by Rollins. Is it enough to put Jericho away? And a kick out. And remember, guys, inside Hell in a Cell, you only win via pinfall or submission. Unlike a traditional steel cage match, because there's a roof on the structure, there are no escapes.
Completely different mindset, completely different set of rules or lack thereof.
You've got to wonder, the longer this match goes on, how much the elevation will come into play here in Denver. We know all sorts of athletes have to train specifically for this sort of situation. Rollins and Jericho are elite. Will it have any effect?
Oh, and an elbow catches Rollins. Lion Song! Chris Jericho said he can beat Rollins any place, any time. Is it tonight? No, not right now.
Remember, it was only a couple weeks ago Rollins had that rib injury, so you got to wonder if that's coming into play.
And remember, Chris Jericho delivered a knee to the back, focusing on that midsection really off the get-go of this matchup. And Jericho looked like he was setting up for a pedigree.
No go.
And a knee right to the nose. Falcon arrow by Seth Rollins. Isn't enough to put him away? Did he get it? No, 2.5.
Just barely. Barely Jericho got that elbow, that shoulder up.
Let's take another look at this. Bang! Right to the bridge of Jericho's nose.
What's Seth going to do here? He's got Jericho in trouble.
Time is ticking. Rollins got to hurry.
Oh. Well, Seth was up on the top rope, and here comes Kevin Owens.
So much for promises.
Yeah, what happened to Kevin Owens not being out here?
The WWE Universal Champion causing a distraction for Rollins momentarily, but Seth launches himself out of the ring to take out Jericho. Not quite what Kevin Owens wanted, I believe.
Seth's still trying to win this match.
Great move by Rollins, just stay in the course.
And Rollins with a knee caught him.
Oh, it may be deja vu from last week.
Staring right at Owens. Went for the pedigree. Jericho countered. Into the walls. The walls of Jericho. Is Rollins going to tap out? And if he does, he's going to do it looking at Kevin Owens.
Rollins is writhing in pain.
Walls of Jericho locked in tight. Rollins trying to drag himself to the bottom rope to force the break here. Back to the center of the ring. Does Rollins have anything left?
Rollins trying to hang on, but you're right. How much can he take?
One last gasp effort, perhaps, from Seth Rollins.
Almost up the
Took away. Kevin Owens, though. Kevin Owens preventing Rollins from getting to the bottom rope.
Give me a break.
And now the official figures out what Owens is doing. And now the break's going to happen.
And but the damage has been done. Seth Rollins has been in the walls of Jericho for at least a minute.
Making him break the hold, which he had to do because Rollins made it to the bottom rope.
Weird point, Corey. The damage was done to Rollins.
And look at Rollins from behind. Jericho again counters the pedigree. Oh, and an enziguri. Stunning Rollins. Jericho setting him up with a code breaker, but Rollins caught him.
Uh-oh.
Pedigree!
Here is your winner, Seth Rollins.
Distraction and all by Kevin Owens. Rollins still pulled it off.
And you gotta wonder what Chris Jericho thinks about this.
I wonder what Kevin Owens thinks. Looks like he's sweating bullets.
You know, you could argue that Kevin Owens cost Chris Jericho the match here tonight. And Jericho didn't want him anywhere near ringside.
There won't be an argument after Hell in a Cell.
Well, Jericho already had Rollins beat and thanks to Kevin Owens provided the assistant, but rightfully so. Rightfully so, the official made Jericho break the hold.
Rollins able to muster up the power to block a code breaker. Bang! Into a pedigree. 3 seconds later, Rollins has toppled Kevin Owens' best friend once again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, switching gears now. If you don't believe me, you can see it all on the WWE Network. There was only one Goldberg, one of the most intimidating and intense superstars of all time, who had a storied career in both WWE and WCW. The legend began 19 years ago when Goldberg had his debut match on WCW Day Nitro.
Newcomer here in Bill Goldberg, a man we know absolutely nothing about, but he is making his debut here on Monday Nitro.
Pretty agile for a big Goldberg.
And a big power slam. Vertical suplex here, got him out. Combination slam, 1, 2, 3. And Bill Goldberg out of obscurity.
What a debut for Bill Goldberg.
That was number one because Goldberg would go on to win 173 consecutive matches, the longest such streak in WCW history. And tonight, he returns to Monday Night Raw to answer a challenge from Brock Lesnar for one more match. Goldberg is live tonight.
Now, and earlier today, WWE Hall of Famer Lita had the opportunity to sit down with the challenger for the historic Raw Women's Championship match inside Hell in a Cell at Charlotte, and it's next.